Broadcasting from a decommissioned nuclear submarine crewed by a team of joystick shuffling loons located somewhere off the coast, United Kingdom. Welcome to the Wonky Gamer's Thermonuclear Popcorn.
Hello and welcome to the Wonky Gamer Thermonuclear Popcorn. We're back today with the usual crowd, Steph, Rami and Dad. We also have a special guest today, who you may have come across on the Wonky Spanner, known for his reviews. Welcome to Ferg.
They did it. It was nothing to do with me.
He likes having rude calls with evil
telephone people,
fake Windows people.
It's entirely U-rated.
Right, so what I'll do is I'll give you Ferg's YouTube a bit later on, and we'll plug some other stuff as well. But if you want to leave any feedback for the show, you're welcome to leave it in the comments, or you can mail us at our new email address, which is wonkygamer@wonkyspanner.com.
It's all shiny and new. Why not try and be the first to email us?
But we've never opened that email yet.
You could be the first.
It was created like 2 minutes ago.
It's that new and that shiny.
Birth of a beautiful era.
So
right,
we could email ourselves.
On to the gaming news.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So
without further delay.
So I guess we could start with Uncharted 4, which came out.
You played
this
that
month, last month. Yeah, it came out well. It's still this month right now, but when you listen to this, it will be last month. But yes, Uncharted 4. I don't know. It's a difficult one for me to have an opinion on because I played it for about an hour and a half. I think Rami watched everything I played.
Yes, I watched through what you played, and it actually answered one of the main questions I had with the game, because I'd seen a friend play some of it later on, probably about midway through the game.
Oh, yeah.
And I was really taken aback by the way he actually moves through the environment, all this like free climbing and stuff he does. And I was like, well, how did he learn to do all of that? Why? Him and his brother, they're just doing all kinds of nonsense. And why aren't they both dead? And then from watching your Let's Play, the little bit you played like at the start, the hour or so, it explains it all. He's been doing it from a very young age. I mean, how he's not dead from that very early age is beyond me, but he learned
if you
it
think
all
about
then.
it, he was doing it to a pretty high standard at the age of 12.
Well, ridiculously high. I mean, not as good as me, obviously, but he's close.
So
he's getting there.
The gameplay's sort of very much Assassin's Creed and Tomb Raider style, isn't it?
Yeah.
The sort of third person over your shoulder.
Yeah.
It's a kind of if Ezio and Lara Croft had a child.
Yeah. Maybe that's the twist. I don't know. I haven't finished it yet. Maybe that's what you find out at the end.
It was all a dream.
But no, I think it is. It seems like quite a good game. It's got really good reviews. I don't know if it's just like for me. I did play the first Uncharted a long time after it came out. I don't know if it's just me. I kind of find that it's kind of it's a lot of set pieces. It's a lot of show, and it looks really cool and that kind of thing. But I don't know. At least from what I've played of the original one and so far in this one, a good effort on the story, but I didn't feel particularly engaged. It just seemed a bit too action movie-esque, but then that's just me. I quite like, I don't know, watching a film or playing a game where I sit and, like, people just sit in a room and talk about politics or something.
I heard that was just for the first part of the game. Once you get, I think it's about the first couple of hours. Well, not even couple of hours, but it's the tutorial section. once you get past that, it's supposed to open up and become a much
Yeah.
The bit of the
wider
game I watched, as I say, probably about midway through, they were climbing all these peaks around this lovely kind of Caribbean island, and they got into one room, and there were some really good puzzles that I actually saw my friend play through, and just something a little bit different, and they did require a bit of thought. They weren't too obvious, but nothing too tricky. If you've played any games at all, and you're used to puzzling stuff out there, but yeah, it looks like it would genuinely be quite a lot of fun.
I think that's the thing. I mean, there's actually a review on the WonkySpanner.com by a chap, David, actually, who he had a pretty positive review about it. I did have a good read through it a week or two ago. But yeah, I mean, it might just be me being difficult, really, and a little bit specific on the games I like. But it does seem like a lot of fun. I think a lot of people would enjoy it.
I have to admit, I've been kind of attracted to the title, but it's an exclusive only, so I'm never going to get to play it at this rate.
Yeah.
Till someone somehow finds a way to emulate it over the PC legally.
But that can't be iron.
Legally.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen.
No, it's not, and that's a loss for the PC market.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, third-person shooters. Come on, it's PC heaven for gaming. It really is, and kind of, why would you waste that opportunity? Come on. So yeah, that's kind of me on exclusivity, to be honest.
I think the thing is as well is like I think the game's been incredibly overhyped. A bit like Metal Gear Solid 5 was, which I won't go into now, but that game really, really upset me. But it has been incredibly overhyped. I mean, you would have thought that, this game is like better than sex, like there's no point even having relationships because you get this game and it will just change your life forever and you won't even need to go to work, you'll just sit and play it and, live on the dole and life would be good. But, yeah, I don't know.
So that's where I've been going wrong. I'm
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
going wrong going to work. I should just be
Buy Uncharted
playing
4.
Uncharted 4
Yeah.
That kind of game.
and live my life in there.
Yeah, it
So-
kind of puts me off.
So the other titles out this month in the news, we've got Total War Warhammer.
We do indeed. I mean, we're probably coming from like the. I don't know how much everyone's up with Total War or Warhammer. I know that I've played a lot of Total War, and
I
into
know
his
Warhammer franchise quite well. Seeing it, I've played quite a few of their other games actually, thinking about it, and seeing it running on an engine like Total War is going to be very, very good. The videos I've seen make it look epic.
the reviews
It does
are
look
really
super
positive.
shiny.
And you get there's 4 different races that you can play with. You've got the Empire, you've got dwarves, you've got vampire counts, and you've got orcs and goblins in the Greenskin army, which is pretty much a good starter. But they have planned for a lot of extra armies to be put in. I think there's a Chaos expansion.
Where are the
due.
Skaven run man thing?
There's a
want
lot of
the
room for them
Skaven
to
in it.
expand to.
I mean, I
So,
think what
It'll
was
probably come out as add-ons later, I imagine. Now they've got the franchise and they've kicked it off. It seems like a perfect forum for Warhammer.
Yeah, I mean, there's never been a direct copy of the Warhammer game into a video game.
yeah.
It would work quite well as a turn-based game because it is a turn-based game. But there's been attempts. There've been real-time strategy attempts, and I think this one's going to be the most in-depth.
Well, I think from the gaming perspective, I mean, I don't know a lot about Warhammer, but I know that for a Total War game, a lot of people are saying it's really good because Basically, the way a Total War game works, you have the overmap where you'll move your armies and you'll take over sort of different countries or whatever. But all the battles,
Right.
it switches to a different screen, like a kind of a battle screen, which will be a whole sort of landmass where you actually have these battles and you manage your individual little armies. And what this game does,
I mean,
different
how
to
far
Total
can you
Wars.
drill down into the battle on Total War?
Well,
Can you take over an individual man, or is it units?
well, it's a bit weird. You have like a massive army battle on this battle map, I suppose. It's like a 3D sort of map. And you can put your troops like your archers or something on top of a hill, and they can fire down at other people, and they do more damage or that kind of thing from those kind of areas. There's a lot of like min-maxing to it and stuff, but I think the reason that Warhammer is so good for Total War is that most Total War games you've had like the same options, sort of whatever kind of like race or group that you play. They have like the same troops and the same kind of things, so you can't. There's like obvious counters, but with the races from Warhammer, they're very, very different apparently in the way that they play.
Yeah, I've heard there's like just every race has its own advantages and disadvantages, and they are really different the way you play each of the 4 races, which is just awesome. Because certainly within Warhammer, if you're playing it tabletop, rolling dice and painting your miniatures, each race is quite different and does have the different strengths and weaknesses.
I mean, I know that one of the
it's nice
weaknesses.
to know that they've got that across.
I mean,
Actually,
I know that with the. You go. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's actually. This is one of the reasons why, yet again, I'm doffing my cap to Creative Assembly, the guys behind the game. Because, well done, guys. You tapped a market that is, let's be honest, long overdue. You'd think Games Workshop would have gotten round to this a little earlier, given how much kick there is going on here. And I haven't been in the Warhammer scene for a while, but it's not like you can ignore it when you're into tabletop gaming as well. It's sort of a market you really want to see how it's going to go. And they're having a better time of it, because I know they took a bit of a knock early on. And I think this is an inspired idea, and Creative Assembly have clearly put an awful lot of attention to detail to all of the different units. And if they can pull this off, I think they're going to end up with an incredibly solid profit and a really successful product in total. I really am looking forward to seeing how it turns out. I don't know if I'll be playing it, but I'd really want to see how this turns out.
I mean, I'd be very.
To be honest, I'm a bigger 40k fan, so I'd be looking forward to Total War Warhammer 40k. I'd be all over
that. Well, now that you said it,
looking forward to the future.
Well, if this one does well, that's something they can look at.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Fingers crossed.
They've got a
well,
lot
you've
of...
got Dawn of War 3 coming out imminently.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the trailers that they threw up at the beginning there. I was thinking, okay, let's see what we're going to... And I thought that was actually kind of that was sort of a dark trailer for the kind of thing that they put up before. Lots of, all the falling bodies, and you think, okay, who just went Baroque? Oh, wait a minute, that's Space Marines in the nutshell. Sorry, I'll forget what I said. But they really got the imagery there, and it was sort of haunting. Kudos to that.
I mean, they've had on Metacritic, it's got an 86. So that's pretty high.
Yeah, that is high.
The highest was 98 from Power Unlimited, but I have no idea who they are. User score 7.4. I don't know, but there was not that many sort of actual user reviews, really.
Just because they're all too busy playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're too absorbed.
I mean, from what I can see, most of the reviews that are negative are like, 3 and 3, 2, 1 and 0.
And what's that? Because they don't have the races that they want.
It looks like people are moaning about it being a reskin or stripped out features, or I mean, it's very hard with Total War because I think the problem is they've made games like Total War Empire, which had a lot of micromanagement, and then they have games like the original Shogun that are a lot more streamlined, and people like the different sort of play styles in it, and you're gonna have your hardcore and your super hardcore that loved one certain type of game.
But they seem to have a solid game engine, so
Yeah.
I don't see why people are. No, if it's a solid game, it's a solid game.
I agree.
Of course, there's going to be different features. It's got magic in it for a start. I don't remember there being that much magic in the Total War Rome.
I don't think there's ever been magic in Total War before.
I mean, it's a whole new text tree for the game to have to absorb, and all the mechanics for it to be there for as well.
And I think the thing is, it is underneath it is a Total War game. I mean, if you've played every single Total War game, you seriously know what to expect. I mean, if you haven't played one for...
Yeah, resource hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna want some freaking RAM.
Yeah.
Pony up and get ready for it, yeah? You've seen the numbers. Think of the megabytes, damn you.
It is crazy though, isn't it? I mean, I remember playing Empire and I had a pretty good PC at the time, and like you press enter for a turn when you've met like a few different empires or whatever, and you'd literally have to wait about 10 minutes.
Go off, get a coffee. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's power hungry.
Maybe
Yeah.
not 10 minutes. That might be an over-exaggeration, but a minute or something, which is a long time.
Yeah, remember to call the missus, you're not coming home yet. So, what's next?
Yeah,
What have we got next?
Crossplay. Yeah.
Crossplay on Xbox One
Yeah.
and PlayStation.
So, I mean,
I'm very excited by that. I've only got an Xbox One at the moment, so I'm looking forward to playing with friends that have PS4s and no Xbox One.
I mean, do you think it's a sign of the death of the different consoles?
It's a close of the divide,
Yeah.
because now it won't matter
Well,
whether you've got
step in the
PS4.
right direction.
Yes, for a unified gaming system where we're not them against us.
I think it'll always be like that though, because
Can
there
we
is
all
this kind
just
of
get along?
No, we can't.
Well, it brings it more in line with the PC gaming. With PC gaming, people have Apple, they have Microsoft, they have.
I don't think Apple's going to be a problem anytime soon.
Well, I'm not thinking of it as a problem. I'm just thinking of it as available formats to run things on.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have an Intel CPU. You can have some other brand.
Anything.
Yes.
Pretty much. I mean, it comes down to whatever's really readily on the market, and believe me, they're likely to have their fingers in that pie.
Yeah. So having Xbox and PlayStation become more like the PC gaming market, we've seen it already. The consoles, to all intents and purposes, they're a gutted gaming PC anyway.
Yeah, they are. Especially with this generation.
The gap between PC and console is becoming increasingly smaller.
Unless you're a Nintendo.
Well, unless you're Nintendo, but
Pulling back the cartridge.
But you never know what they'll do next year, though.
But if you look at the cartridges nowadays, they are effectively going to be solid state drives. It's going to be like the giant flash drive, hard drives. Plug it in and go.
God, it's going to be so quick actually. The NX.
Or that's if I was building a games console.
I'd love
with
to see
cartridges,
the
that's
NX
the technology I'd look
succeed.
into.
Mm.
It would be nice to see them succeed, because like Nintendo have been doing this for ages, and it'd be a shame to see them fall out of the console market altogether.
Nintendo's always been a strong family console.
Yeah. I don't think the
Definitely.
Wii U's done well though.
Could they get rid of Mario? Please. Love of Pete, get rid of him. I'm sick of seeing his
I
little
like it.
face.
You don't like your resident local Italian plumber?
No, I've got nasty theories about that. I've got
Oh my
theories
God.
about Mario, and you know what?
Conspiracy theories about Mario.
Oh, right, okay. Think about it, right? Mario, he's this plumber. He is really not happy with his job. His brother, he's taken some mushrooms into his. If he's doing a job, he's taking some mushrooms, and he dreams that he's in this magical place where the only thing that looks like it might be attracted to him actually could be, despite the tiny little face. Oh God, it's horrid. Just kill it with a shoe. Sorry, no.
What about
No,
Yoshi?
I think he's a bum.
Do you like Yoshi? He's cute.
No, they're all horrible. Oh,
He's
no.
a dinosaur.
Hook him with a
He's
stick.
green.
Yeah.
He
No.
licks things. He probably licks mushrooms, actually. It's probably another reason to be concerned.
The princess is a mushroom. It's,
I thought she was a peach.
She doesn't look like a mushroom.
thought she was just. I don't know. I just remember there being a movie as well with Bob Hoskins. No, stop it. The mental barriers are going down.
Right.
John Leguizamo, man.
And so,
Anyway.
I mean, with crossplay, going back to the crossplay, I think it'd be really good. Like, it would be really nice, like as Rami says, to like play with your friends. Because I mean, I've got a PS4 and I can't play online with a lot of people. It'd be interesting to see how they did it though, because you've got these different settings for partying up with people on different consoles. I don't know how they'd merge that.
it's,
Yeah,
think
it'll
they'd
be
have to get
interesting
together
to
and
see how it
agree
all
on
comes together and once more games adopt it.
I mean, the sorts of titles that have been thrown around so far have been things like Rocket League, games similar to sort of Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duties, Battlefields. These are
Probably
the sort.
Overwatch.
I would be very surprised if Blizzard haven't already started looking into ways and means of making it crossplay.
I just wouldn't want to
That
include
would be
PC in
nice.
that, because as a PC gamer, I know that if I played something like, I don't know, Overwatch on PC against Xbox and PlayStation 4 gamers, it would be really easy to shit on them, because I have a mouse that's really fast and they have a controller that's a controller. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
I think some of them would argue with that.
Really?
Yeah, I actually believe console users, because they've known nothing else, and that's all they sharpen themselves up on.
Yeah.
I've kind of gone back to PC, and I've just realised that I'm having to relearn
Yeah.
some kind of very basic skills here. But they've never stopped on there, and I've seen some folks do some, admittedly interesting stuff. Get my thumbs working again, though. But yeah, we'll still blaze them. Don't get me wrong, but yeah. Seek out
Yeah,
the
I mean,
PC Master Race.
I mean, to be fair, like, I mean, I think it's true. I tried to play Counter-Strike on PC with a mouse and keyboard, and I'm a lot better at shooting people on a console than I am on a PC nowadays.
If it comes down to fine tuning, it's because
Yeah.
people playing on a PC can actually alter the sensitivity of their mouse. To alter the sensitivity, it's entirely dependent whether or not it's in the game mechanic for the console players, though. So, yeah, I'm sort of. I can see, yeah.
You can.
But Xbox have
technically-
made inroads to that with their Elite controller, haven't they? That's quite customizable
Yeah,
and has different options. So
The Elite controller is incredibly customizable. You can even set 2 different profiles for different games, so you can just flip between them.
Right.
But for the poor man, there are things on the market called Game Freaks, little joystick attachments that you put on top of the joystick you've got, which give you more leverage, so you get slightly better reaction times.
I suppose at the same time, I mean, we're talking about like only the more like higher competitive type of people that are gonna, I mean, like I've used to play League quite competitively, so I've got a really fast gaming mouse that I have on really high sensitivity because that's how I play. That's how I used to play League of Legends. But there's not a lot of people that are like that, I suppose. You see what I mean? I don't think there's a massive load of people that use really fast mouses or use an elite Xbox controller.
No, the Elite Xbox
Yeah, it's
controller
going to be a
is.
small percentage.
It's called the Elite controller because only a few people will buy it because it's quite an expensive bit of kit. You're looking about 130, 120, 130 quid.
Well, does it not also
Wow.
integrate with the Oculus Rift and the Vive?
I would imagine it probably will do. I imagine a basic controller will as well, but it's also a PC gaming controller as well.
Oh.
That'd be so pretty.
It is a very nice piece of kit, but they are horrendously expensive. Not the sort of thing if you to buy if you suffer from game rage.
Oh no. No. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that you just have to place it carefully down on the side, pick up your other Xbox controller, and throw that across the room.
I'm more that kind of
And
guy
then
that sort
pick
of.
up the.
I know that kind of guy that just writes passive-aggressive comments, like in the chat, or you know, like I don't really like insult anyone. I just do it very slyly, sarcastically. Anyway, we should probably move on.
Yes, right. I think that's crossplay pretty much covered for now. It's still early days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Something
probably a year off at least.
Probably
Probably
worth keeping an eye on. But it means that we can all play together.
One day.
Yay!
I suppose next up we've got some brief news, pretty disappointing. No
Sad
Man's
news.
Sky. No Man's Sky has been delayed.
Yes.
And
Very gutted.
surprise, surprise. I am really annoyed with this now. Surprise, surprise. Because I don't mind the delay. But it's now going to be launched in Europe on the 10th of August. And I think in America it's the 9th. And then in the UK the 12th of August. Why do they keep wanting to release it 2 days after?
I don't know. It's got to be some kind of reason.
I
What? I
saw
can't think
a
of
link
one.
that hinted at why that could be the reason, and it's all to do with the release dates. And fact, retail imposed the release dates for the UK absolutely years ago when the gaming market was first like taking off, and like there were the first home computers and people buying games, because at that point there was no organisation to the supply chain.
Yes.
And it's apparently all Dixon's fault because they wanted to release marketing over the weekend for the new releases, and with the games potentially coming out at any time, they couldn't do that. So they turned around to the suppliers and went, no, games come out on a Friday in the UK. That's how it is. And within 6 months, it had pretty much come to that, aside from the odd like really big titles that do have the same day release as the States and over here.
The
aside from that,
official release dates in the UK's are Tuesdays and Fridays for most titles, and if it's an EA game, it comes out on a Thursday.
Could they? I thought that they had an exclusive deal with PS4 though. No Man's Sky. Like, to boost sales on the PS store, why would they not release it at the same time in the UK as Europe on the store, but later in the shops? That would have been a good way to undercut the shops.
It must be to do with
regions.
They're not, because that'd turn away a lot of people from the shop, I imagine, and they can't just turn around, print all these discs, and then no one buy them because they couldn't wait the 2 days.
Yeah, I suppose I'm just thinking that PlayStation's more capitalist than. Well, actually, I suppose it's kind of I suppose it would affect sales as well. Is it a PlayStation developed product, or is it? I mean, I know it's developed by Hello Games, but I'm just wondering who's funding it. I don't know if I'm just totally off topic here.
Who the publisher is?
Fronting up the cash.
Yeah.
I don't actually know off the top of my head. I should know that.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I just know it's Hollow Games and that they are a really small studio attempting this massively ambitious project. So
Hmm.
the fact they want to take the extra time to give us the best possible version of the game. Yes, I'm disappointed, but I'd rather wait and get the
Yeah.
best possible version of the game because it's happened too many times in the past, recently, where games have been rushed out and they've been basically broken, almost to the point of unplayability in some cases. Whereas this, taking the extra time, they're not happy with the polish. It's nice to see that they have taken that brave step of saying no, we're going to delay it and we're going to do it right.
What do you reckon, Ferg? Ferg!
So
I have no idea. To be perfectly honest, I really am anticipating No Man's Sky, but you know what? It just looks like it's going to be so intense. I'm looking forward to it. I don't want to get my hopes up that high because otherwise
Yeah.
it's going to drag me away from Elite Dangerous, and that's the end of the story. I'm really enjoying Elite Dangerous.
I don't think it
I
will.
don't get nearly enough time on it, but
I don't think it would
this
drag
will
you
do
away
it.
from Elite. I don't.
No?
I think I'm of the impression it will get. I think it will be fun and amazing, like the way what it does as a kind of experiment. But I think that it's going to get boring and repetitive really fast. I mean, I really want to play it and I really want to get it, but I think it will have like a sort of shelf life. It won't be like Elite.
I'm not convinced that I think they'll have things that will keep dragging you closer and closer to that center of the universe, and it'll keep drawing you on, providing they've got big enough hooks as you get closer in. I think that it's going to have that. Oh, just get a bit further, just a bit further.
It only takes 40 hours
And it'll
apparently if that's the main thing you're aiming for, is to get there. If you really tried hard, it'd take you about 40 hours apparently. So what in terms of like if what I'm thinking is if Ferg's really into Elite, which has if you get really into it, probably has a really long shelf life, like an MMO. I'm not sure if like
Yeah.
No Man's Sky is going to fulfill that itch for like someone that plays that kind of game like long term. I don't know if it will hold.
Well, I also enjoy the kind of the arcade type. I mean, I'm just waiting for the next time they come out with a Freelancer as well, because Freelancer was a big inspiration as well.
Do you ever play the X games?
I tried, and I
Yeah.
didn't get involved. I kind of got dropped into the deep end X2, and I was looking at the manual, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
At least it came with a manual.
That's true.
Buggery.
Have you tried Eve?
Oh god, Eve.
Eve is a work it out yourself. There you go. There's the universe. Here's a web page. Off you go.
I wish I had the time and no life for Eve. Like, I wish I had that much time to really get into it, because I'd love to get into that game.
I've been put off Eve for a short reason. Apparently, the players. They've blown me away. Like, listen, you're going to turn up in a system and they're just going to gank you. You're going to be like, who the hell? Oh my god, I'm dead, and they're like 100 times, billion times worse than I am. Okay, fine. Just pay up and leave. And I'm not interested
That's
in
the
that.
joke
Thanks.
about Eve's title, is that Eve stands for everybody versus everybody.
Ah, right. Good.
It's good if you can get a corporation running, but unless you know the people in person, you generally can't trust anybody.
I kind of like that though,
Right.
like gaming completely paranoid of everyone around you. Yeah, it actually sounds like quite a lot of fun. I don't know, maybe that's just me. It's like a psychological thriller.
So, looking forward, moving on.
Oh god, I did something there. Sorry. Yes.
E3, we've got a few titles that have been announced as of the 27th of May.
We do indeed. Should we just go through some of the main ones?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a shame that we are looking at getting Spindles on one of these shows. Maybe after E3 actually, to have a bit of a chat about things he's played because he was at London Comic Con. But one game that he did mention that he had a go at, and which is going to be at E3, is the new Attack on Titan game. I don't know
Yeah,
if
he
any
was
of you
saying
guys
it
have
was
watched
quite
it, or...
far along and a lot of fun.
What kind of game was it again? I mean, I think he was saying it was sort of
He was saying
play
it was
multiplayer,
focusing on zipping around on the wires and taking down massive titans, which just sounds awesome fun.
Is it like the human version of being a snow speeder and killing AT-AT walkers?
Assats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Battlefield 1, we've got Call of Duty as well. They've been confirmed. We already knew they were coming.
Yeah. I mean, I think they'll look... It'd be interesting to see how Call of Duty progresses in terms of public perception.
It's not doing well.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
How they're going to come back from that first video they released, because wow.
That
They
video's on about 1.5
upset
million
everyone,
reviews.
didn't they?
Actually, in fact, I'm quite intrigued to see what the stats are on that now.
It's somewhere near 1.5 million, I think.
Oh, no, you know what? Under 500,000 likes and 2.5 million dislikes.
Wow.
Ooh.
Holy
People really hate that game.
Jesus.
Oh.
Wow.
Here's a quick message to the companies involved. Let it die at long last. Just put it to freaking bed. Sorry, it just had to get that off my chest. Thank you.
I never liked it either, to be fair.
Fuck them.
This horse is now well and truly dead. Please, please, please stop flogging it.
While you're at it, Mario, please.
Oh, God. So, I mean, I think, Battlefield 1 has got very positive reviews. Reviews of the trailer. And it could...
Of the
looks
trailer
pretty-
video, just the video of it.
Yeah.
And people are already getting excited.
Um,
Unlike Call of Duty.
yeah,
Oh, come on.
I wonder with Call of Duty it's just because they just haven't done anything particularly new for years.
People are liking Call of Duty ones that are about 11 years old.
You would have thought that you'd constantly get more, because you always get new 11-year-olds, don't you?
Yes,
You would
they're
have
the ones
thought,
that keep on killing me.
There's
Freaking
like
roast
an
the
infinite
place.
supply of
What?
them every year.
They're deadly.
Oh, they're devastating. I
It's sad,
got
isn't it?
caught.
Every year, man, there's going to be even more 11-year-olds because the population
Oh.
in Europe keeps increasing.
No. No, it was
We don't stand a
horrifying.
chance.
It was like fighting nuts. It was like, where the fuck did you come from, you little creep? And they just chatter on the background radio. Oh no, terrifying. Wow, they're really good at it.
So, next on the list is Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Really
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
Oh yeah.
I am.
Yeah. I
I
love
just
my cyberpunk.
Deus Ex. We're always going to be comparing it to the original game, and I think that's really unfair because those that do remember the original game had a very different experience to the people that are being introduced to a brand new
Yeah.
cyberpunk experience, and they're trying to do this without having to expect all these kids to go out and find emulators for dead machines or really kind of get that thoroughly engrossed in Steam. But
There has been a remastered version on Steam by some, on the workshop actually, the original. It's still old school.
Oh yes, and the opportunities to actually go through a game and not actually kill anybody, other than the three main people that actually must die. Other than that, awarding the players for
The
that, I
boss
was very
fights.
happy with that idea.
Yeah.
Sorry? Yeah, the boss fights in the last one that we had, you had to kill them, and that was it. There was the 3 boss fights. Could actually kill the bosses, and it doesn't go against you. So
I
technically,
mean, I thought it was good, the last one. I mean, I thought they did a good job. I don't know. I enjoyed it the first time I played it. I tried playing it subsequently and wasn't as into it, but it was a good game. It was a good attempt at doing a more modern version of the original, I suppose. It's different.
um,
If
Yeah.
that even makes sense, that sentence. But you know what I mean. It
Yeah.
was a good attempt.
Yeah.
Next up, the new Final Fantasy 15.
Ooh, well excited.
is it 15 already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do love my Final Fantasy games.
They were great up until about
It
10.
does.
They went a bit weird.
Yeah, up until 10 they were brilliant.
Which one was
It
11
does
again?
feel very very bromancy, this one though.
Oh yeah. Chilling with your bros in your car.
I mean, is it literally you just play the four guys
No.
through the
Well-
whole game, or are they going to introduce more characters? Because I loved all the. For
Special
me, the Final
characters.
Fantasy series, I love 7, and I loved all the different characters that you could play.
I think
And
I don't know. I think it's going to be that apparently there are females in the game, and they do join your party for a period of time, and apparently the whole party dynamics in terms of the conversation changes, and the characters act differently when a female's in their presence, is what the director said.
it becomes less of a sausage fest.
Yeah, and probably an alpha male fest or something. But no, I mean, I think I think there'll be a lot of characters that come in and out, but I think they'll be your main. The 4 guys will be your main kind of.
The 4 guys are the
group.
main
Yeah.
stay.
I mean, I think the main character's meant to be. He's meant to marry this female. I think she's called. Is she called Luna or something like that? She's meant
It
to
could
marry.
be Luna, yeah.
Yeah, he's meant to marry her one day, and there's some kind of. I mean, it's a weird game. They're pushing a lot of stuff into this because they're gonna have a film out called Kingsglaive that's meant to come out before the game comes out. They've got the anime that's been coming out on their Square Enix YouTube, I think. I haven't actually watched it yet.
I've only watched the first episode of that. Are there more episodes out yet?
I don't know actually. They're meant to keep pushing them out up until release. I think there's meant to be 6 episodes by the end of it. I think. I can't remember now. They did a whole Final Fantasy thing like a month or 2 ago where they released loads of info.
Yeah.
But the film's
As I
got
say,
like.
I'll be really intrigued to see how it goes.
If it flops, then their Final Fantasy VII remake has got to
Save them.
do well.
Their
Yeah.
last ditch attempt to save the series.
Yeah.
So next up, we've got the new Legends of Zelda, which we talked about briefly, with Nintendo doing their strange decision to stream it live from the show.
Yeah.
I'm
Only
assuming
game they're bringing.
Are we going
I'm
to see the
assuming they're only
whole
gonna
game?
I'd like to say they're not going to stream the whole game because that would be counterproductive.
From what I've heard, actually, it's a 90-minute playthrough.
Right.
So it'll be a dungeon then.
Yeah, but maybe it'll be the intro in the first dungeon or something. I mean, it's hard with Nintendo. I'd love to play the next Zelda, but I can't justify buying a Wii U at the moment.
Buying
or a
console for
or
one
an
game.
NX. Yeah. I mean, the Mario Kart's great as well with friends and things, but I mean, it's a lot of money to. And it's the sad thing about Nintendo. They make some really good games, but their third-party games don't generally seem to be that good overall.
They're just not getting the support anymore, are they? They've kind of scared off all the third-party developers quite considerably.
They, but they just don't release consoles with decent, sort of graphics. I mean, I know that shouldn't define a console, but it is an issue. I don't know. But then they must make more profit than PlayStation or Xbox because the hardware won't cost as much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd love.
It'll be
Nintendo
interesting to
come
see
back.
how the NX is received.
It's going to be a step back and a step forward at the same time, I think.
Do you know anything about it?
Not a lot. I know it's going to be cartridge based, and all I've got really is my own speculation.
What's your speculation?
Well, the
Yeah.
cartridges will be
SSDs, basically.
SSD drives, basically. So you can fit
SSDs.
massive amounts of game data on there and have really high-end games.
I don't know.
They're going to cost a pretty penny, though. I wonder if they're gauging the market the way they think it's going with consoles. In order to compete, they're going to have to take on a lot of titles, unless, of course, they're really limiting their market. I mean, to be fair, in a lot of cases, Nintendo have aimed very strongly towards their own Japanese market, and fair play to them, because that's exactly the people that are paying for them immediately. Once they've satisfied their costs through Japan, anything they sell abroad is essentially a profit.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a logic in there. I just haven't quite got it yet. But that's actually pure speculation. But that's all I can really observe from the situation. So I'm kind of jumping to my own conclusions here, if you get what I mean.
I mean,
Yes.
I just think, maybe don't make a controller that is a massive bloody screen. Like, that on its own probably costs £100. Like, just a really logical, objective view on how to, make a controller for a console that's meant to be for a family-based console. I mean,
It does have its advantages.
it does. I mean, it is. But could they not have used the 3DS as the second screen? Plug it in as a controller and have the game show up on the 3DS instead of it being
I don't know.
an actual.
I'm not a techie. Well, I'm not on that side of tech.
Oh, go for it. Sorry.
Talking of tech, Titanfall 2.
I missed the first one. I have
Massive
no idea what happened there.
robots.
Giant walking tanks, basically. It's basically the evolution of MechWarrior.
Can't improve on perfection.
But the
What is this you speak of?
one of the problems a lot of players had with Titanfall 1 was that the storyline was woven very loosely into the multiplayer. There wasn't a standalone storyline.
Which, for me,
As it
was
was.
a really big shame. It was all about the multiplayer. And I still like my stories and still like playing through campaigns, unfortunately.
So
Right, we won that.
it's a case of waiting and seeing what it's going to be. But I have a sneaking suspicion there's going to be more to the game than there was in the first.
I do hope so, because what I played at the first one, it was great fun, but again, just
Got very repetitive.
too
very
much
quickly.
of a singular focus. Yeah, that's what I found. It's literally, right, well, I've done this several times. I want something new now.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried Titanfall a little bit at a friend's house. For me, it just felt like, okay, mechs, shooter game. It's fun, but it's not necessarily something that I personally would be too excited about, I suppose. But that's just me.
Next, we've got Mafia 3.
Yeah, has anyone actually checked this out?
I haven't at the moment.
Little
Oh.
bit. I used to work on tech support once upon a time, and I remember the original Mafia game when that came out, and that was actually quite fun to work with. Rockstar?
Was it Rockstar?
It was either Rockstar, Take-Two. I can't remember. Either way, it was. Sorry, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But no, they were really fun to work with. doing tech support for it because it would usually be something particular. But it's no. I remember having doing test play, trying to find bugs, recreating some of the problems, and some of those bugs you have to just basically run around, break stuff up, try and get bits and pieces. And yeah, it was a really nice engine. I really like the fluidity of it. I like the speed cap on those old cars. That was lovely.
I'm really hyped about Mafia 3. I'd recommend anyone to play Mafia 2. I can't remember what it came. It definitely came out on PC. I played it on PC. Really, really good game. It's a lot of people compare it to GTA, but it's actually got a really linear story. It's got a big world.
Kind of unfair.
Yeah. It's very story based, and it goes through the years as well. You get a bit older and things happen, but I'd highly recommend it. But the new one is about a black guy who was part of kind of I don't know if he's black actually, he might be Hispanic, but he's part of his own kind of mafia group, and I think something happens to his dad, and he's out seeking revenge, and he sort of builds up his own kind of crew, and it goes from there really. But it deals with a lot of issues during the time. So I think it deals with racism, and it deals with various other issues. I think things related to the Vietnam War as well. I think maybe the main character was in the Vietnamese War. But I think it'll be really good. The Mafia 2 is really. I honestly recommend anyone to check it out because it's a bit of a hidden gem. I think it was fairly popular when it came out, but it wasn't I don't know what it came out with alongside at the same time, but it was a really good game.
So the last one on the list is Ukulele.
Yeah, did anyone
what
ever
now?
play Banjo-Kazooie?
Ukulele.
I loved Banjo-Kazooie. I played a lot of Banjo-Kazooie.
I loved that game as well.
And it really sucked me in. Great fun.
I have most of them sat on the shelf over there waiting to be replayed.
What, the Banjo-Kazooie games?
Yeah, they got re-released as part of the Rare replay on the Xbox.
Oh, no way.
Yep.
Brilliant. Yeah, I absolutely love the Banjo-Kazooie games. But
So is Ukulele, is this another kind of duo animal kind of combo?
It's a spiritual successor made by a lot of the old school Rare devs that have just formed their own studio and done a Kickstarter. It's actually recently just beat the crowdfunding on Kickstarter that Elite Dangerous got. But it's the most funded Kickstarter game in the UK, so it just beat Elite Dangerous May the 16th.
That's saying something.
Yeah, it raised
That is very impressive.
1.5 million. I think. Oh no, yeah, 1.6.
That's a sales pitch in and of itself, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. It's coming out on PC, Mac, Linux, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Wii U. So it's going to come out this year, apparently.
So, across the board.
Excellent.
Yeah. On
But
every,
what I want to know is what the two animals are.
No
Do
idea.
we know that yet?
Got the horse.
We shall have to wait and see. It might be
Monkey.
Are we going to guess at some animal
It looks like-
combinations that could be quite fun?
I mean, they've got pictures of them.
Frog scorpion.
It looks like
I haven't even seen the pictures.
I'm just throwing randoms out there. I have no idea.
It's like a. It looks like a chameleon with a bat on his head.
A chameleon with a bat on his head.
Yeah. Like the bat's
Gonna
the
quickly
bird
look for this
almost,
now.
like Banjo. I think it's going to play very similar to Banjo-Kazooie, to be honest.
Okay.
Well, it looks bright and colourful.
Yeah. I mean, I think it looks like it
But
could
it will be
quite
great
good.
fun.
Publishing's handled by Team 17, the guys that did Worms.
Yay. And the
Yay.
the alien breed stuff as well. Oh,
They
brings
did
back
the
so much
Alien
happy
Breed
memories.
franchise, didn't they?
Yeah, they revamped it for
I played
the
a lot of
3.
Alien Breed.
So good. They upped it. They kept it as a top-down isometric shooter, but you can rotate the scenery now,
golly.
and it was absolutely gorgeous to work with. It was fluid as you like, and the multiplayer was a treat. Sorry, can't say enough nice things about it, and I just remember the original Alien Breed '98 edition back on the Amiga 500, which was just yes.
Yeah,
It was
loved
exactly what I wanted.
Absolutely
and
loved it.
They nailed it. Just saying.
Totally.
So, I mean, that's all the kind of E3 stuff. I mean, there's also Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness, which we won't go into now, but I mean, I'm looking forward to that, and I'll probably do a little review on it at some point, but it's a bit out there. It's kind of a Japanese RPG.
I do like my Japanese RPGs, though.
You might like
I'm
Star
on and
Ocean
off
Black
with them.
Dragon.
Black Dragon. I haven't played that. You mean Blue Dragon?
Oh, sorry, Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon, that was the one.
I
haven't
And
passed
played
on
Nino
that one.
Kuni.
Hmm.
Nino Kuni's a lot of fun, and that's Studio Ghibli.
Lost
So,
Odyssey was a great
Do
game
love
on
my
there.
Studio Ghibli stuff.
But I mean, anyway, that's kind of the E3 stuff. I mean, what are we looking forward to? I mean, I think we've already talked a little bit about.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. So I suppose we don't really need
Yeah.
to go into any more detail about that.
No.
Probably a bit better to talk about it closer to its launch in August.
Yeah, I mean, we would have got all hyped
Yes.
about now.
I mean,
it's still
if it
is.
was still coming out on June the 24th,
Yeah.
then it would have got a bit more airtime, but we've got till August now. I'm sure we'll keep coming back to it because we are looking forward to it.
I mean, what
But
we'll probably do
the
is.
other big game,
I mean, me and Rami will probably do a kind of, sort of, little let's play of the first hour or something. At some point. Of No Man's
at
Sky,
least
I
an
reckon.
hour. We'll see
Probably a lot more.
how long
yeah.
we record for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll probably
How-
play
how
more
much
after
it
we
absorbs
record,
us.
but yeah. Or
Actually,
just record it for ages. Sorry, anyway, carry on.
there's a game June 28th, The Technomancer, by Spider Studios. I've pre-ordered it. I'm really looking forward to it because I loved what they did with
Oh.
Mars Warlogs, and it's basically that very same. If you played that one, this is an expansion of that universe, and it does look like a nice bit of RP, like a third-person RPG,
Oh, really?
like melee
Ooh,
combat,
I do like my
powers,
third-person RPGs.
things like that. Yeah, this one tagged me straight off, and it's a cyberpunk sci-fi kind of investigation. Check out the trailer for it. It really
Oh my God,
it
wow.
stuck me straight away. Steam's got 2 videos,
Right.
and I have got to confess, this is something again I'm really kind of pumped for.
I haven't heard anything about this.
Yep, came out of the blue,
No,
and
I haven't yet. That sounds amazing.
First I
God.
heard about it was quite literally just the other day while my computer was freaking working, and I saw it on Steam, and it just was flacking across the top, and I went, yoink, let's have a look at you. And it sold me straight away. I've already pre-purchased. I'm in the...
Wow. I need
Wow.
to watch the video on it. What's is it quite story based? Does it have
Yes.
does it have like a BioWare type story kind of interaction, or like can you? I don't know. How does it have choice and all that kind of thing?
I think there is a certain amount of choice. I've got a sneaking suspicion it's leaning maybe a little towards the Mass Effect area, but it
Good.
might be just limited choices for the dialogue. But they haven't really kind of put any of that in the video as such. But
And you
they have
mentioned-
got various ways that you can solve problems. So you can use sneaky, wade on through.
And you mentioned that it's set in the same universe, another game. What game's that?
Mars Warlogs. War Logs. Yeah. Basically it's set on Mars, and think back towards the kind of Red Faction-esque dystopia on Mars. We've kind of colonized it. We're deeply ensconced in it, and there's a very distinct class system going on, and essentially it follows characters throughout. In this case, Technomancer is about the spearhead units of the local military. These guys are designed to go out there and deal with problems that directly affect Mars as a whole. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
Would you recommend people to play Mars Warlogs before playing the new one? Do you reckon? Do you reckon it's worth a look at? Because I mean, it seems very, very positive reviews on Steam overall.
I would.
For that game.
I would. If you really like, I mean, it's kind of one of those questions. I'd go with yes, because keeping in mind it was an indie game when they produced it. I think Spider Studios has like 3 titles to the name at the moment,
Okay.
and Technomancer is going straight up there, and it looks great. They put a lot of work into it, and for an early, for what is essentially going to be a debut in a big way for them, it's a nice starter. But I liked Mars Warlogs. It was a lot simpler. But it does have a progressive storyline. It's still an RPG, and there's a lot of interaction for the player involved. I'd say there's easily 28 hours worth of gaming in there if you like to scour into all the corners, looting away and that kind of thing. So yes, and you get more story about the story on Mars. Yeah, I did enjoy it, and I haven't even finished it. That's the worst part. But
is it is it coming out on PC, or is it coming out on anything else? Or
I don't know about the others, but it's definitely on Steam. And last time I checked, it was
definitely on
15%
Xbox
off.
One as well.
I kind of hope it is. It would deserve to be there.
I believe it is coming out on Xbox One as well.
and PS4 apparently.
I think
Yes.
so. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Ah,
28th of
excellent.
June.
Go, be free, my pretties.
Ooh, well,
28th of June.
yeah, it's coming out this month.
It's the end of it's 28th of June. Here we come.
God.
It's the same day that Lego Star Wars was released,
Right.
which is the next title.
Oh yeah.
There's been
Sorry,
some,
I've made my
Very
decision.
excited for that.
there's
No.
been some news on the release of Lego Star Wars. It's going to have loads of characters in it. All the characters from the new film. There's going to be a Hoth pre-order pack available, where you get the Hoth character when pre-ordered at game stores in the UK. There's new mechanics in the game. They released a new trailer with game mechanics in it, and it looks like it's going to be the best Lego game yet. Basically, they've put in a season pass on it, so there's exclusive new story levels. I'm assuming that's where they're going to come from. They explain backstories about how Han got his new ship when he turns up looking for the Falcon. Their puzzle system for getting through the game. There are gated puzzles basically where you have to solve the puzzle. There's going to be multiple ways to solve them now, so it adds an extra level of replayability to each level. There's going to be
One thing I saw in it as well was the fact that even the bad guys are going to start using the bits and bobs of Lego to build their own responses to stuff you're doing.
Yes,
So they'll be like they build stuff now as well, which is really
there's
cool.
been an improvement to the AI in the game, so that they will build to fight back. Also, a new feature is cover. You can use cover like a cover-based shooter, such as Gears of War or Division. So it's going to be a very interesting game.
Space combat, I believe that's in as well.
Yep, ship-to-ship combat sections where you can fly I would assume you can fly the Falcon from the pictures that I've seen.
Oh, I was really impressed when I saw that, actually. I mean, I'm not sort of the biggest Lego game player. I've been trying out the new Batman one, but well, I don't know how new it is now. But I've been playing that a bit. But the space combat stuff in it looked really cool, actually. I was like quite impressed that they were going that kind of all out.
It's very reminiscent to the
Yeah.
fighter squadron mode in Star Wars Battlefront, but made
Really?
Lego. That's what it looks like. I don't think it's going to be multiplayer. It'll be most likely co-op, local co-op, you against AI. But it was very reminiscent of Star Wars Battlefront's fighter squadron. Sorry.
I think they've got a very good
And it's
hook
nice
with
that
it as
it'll
well.
support local co-op.
All Lego games support local co-op.
I know that seems to be becoming rarer nowadays, so it is nice to actually get that you can play with a friend sat on the couch. I miss that.
I think there is a real hook with it, though. You know, I mean, the fact that it's going to have some backstory to some of the things in the film, which you never would have heard about. So that's a really good hook for like Star Wars fans, I'd say. That's good.
Right. So, shall we move on to the review section next?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, I suppose we could talk a bit about Overwatch. I don't know who's played it. I mean, I know
I've been
me
playing
and
it.
Dad have.
I've been playing it quite a lot.
You've played a bit more than me, I think. I've played for. I'll probably put 6 hours into it or something now. That's about it.
I've probably put a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
But I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
I've watched you playing it, Dad.
Yes. There's a few tactics that are becoming a little bit obvious now. Certain team makeups seem to do particularly well, especially on the escort the payload missions. The basic tactic is plant the Bastion on top of it with a Reinhardt shielding him with a healer behind them. And that's pretty much all you need.
There's literally one healer character as well who is the absolute god, which is the Dancy guy. He does AoE heals all the time. I think he's amazing. I think he's absolutely amazing.
Ah.
But again, it's like I find Overwatch as frustrating as I found League of Legends at times, because if you have a stupid team and you play like a healer champion, like, and he's really squishy, and your tank keeps running off on his own, not with the group, and you're kind of like, who do I stick with? My group keeps separating. You just like literally, if you've got a clever enemy team, they'll literally go straight for the healer, knock you out, and then you'll just lose everything.
Always kill the healer.
Yeah, exactly.
Healers have to die.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. It doesn't seem like a lot of people playing the game probably how it should be played, for fun.
Yes.
And then you've got horrible people like me and potentially Dead who like the idea of playing roles in a certain way that maximizes your chances to win. And I have mental breakdowns playing games like Overwatch because people don't understand the basics sometimes, and it upsets me quite a lot.
It's a very fun game.
Yeah.
Yes, I've worked out tactics that seem to work quite well. But
yeah,
it is
you were
very
definitely
much,
slaying it as Bastion, Dead.
It is very much a case of hoping everyone else has the same idea, unless you're all on team chat.
The other thing as well is like the best way to play it, it seems, is to play with a couple of friends and just fill the gaps in your team, because a lot of people just want to play a damage champion, and a lot of the time you'll just lose the whole match if everyone plays what they want. So
yeah,
I was playing with a friend, and we kept having to play tank and healer, and we won a lot of games doing that because
it is
going
to have elements of team makeup. It will become a team-based game where you, some people like the big Warcraft teams that you've got running for raids, like the World First Raiders and all that sort of the big clans. That's what I'm looking for. They will set up 5-man teams, and they will play specific roles. They'll have a tank. They'll have a healer. They'll have a couple of damage dealers.
Well, that's what I want to do playing it, because I'm already getting annoyed. That's just because of the way I am with these kind of games. I get quite competitive.
I kind of foresee it being part of Blizzard's BlizzCon convention. There will be Overwatch championships.
It's got the making of an esport. It's got a lot of similarities to games like League of Legends, even though it's a very different game. Like, there's a lot of like basics you pick up in a MOBA or various other games that are very pivotal in this. About, you know, or World of Warcraft in terms of your team makeup, like positioning, like protecting certain champions, and all that kind of stuff. Really, I can see people getting very competitive in it, to be honest.
Yeah, from what I played on the beta, you could just see it screaming out to be an esport.
Yeah.
So
I'm wondering, my kind of catch is, does it have the longevity that things like World of Warcraft's had? Because, let's be honest, Blizzard, you're introducing what now? Where are you going with this?
Well,
I'm just asking. I mean, first-person shooter?
What you need to look at is not to look at World of Warcraft. Look at League of Legends, or Counter-Strike. Because
I'm looking at this as though it's like a first-person shooter MOBA, and I'm kind of like going, okay.
I wouldn't say it's. I mean, it's not really a MOBA, but it's
Isn't it?
It's got elements of a MOBA in it, I suppose.
Isn't it? Are you sure? Come on.
No, I mean it's
First-person shooter MOBA light.
I wouldn't say it's that, but I mean it's. I'd actually say in some ways it's like a shooter Warcraft. Like there's a lot of things. I don't know. It's got elements for MOBA as well because you've got a hell of a lot of champions. But
yeah,
I think people could get into it competitively. I really do.
I totally agree. I think you're absolutely right. I think competitively speaking, it's exactly what. I mean, come on, StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
the competitiveness on that. I tried to go through some of the StarCraft 2 videos online. I was like, going, oh my god, what the hell? Yeah, I kind of stopped after about an hour. That was tough going.
they are particularly good at playing StarCraft 2.
God, yes, they
The
are.
players are like machines.
Yeah.
Scary. Absolutely terrifying. Loved it, but wow, you can only take so much for so long. Whew.
It's not easy to maintain a position on the league chart. Definitely not.
No, I can't imagine it. Yeah.
Wow.
So
next up, something for Ferg.
Uh-oh.
Ferg has been playing Subnautica.
Oh yes. Unknown Worlds pulled one right out the hat. Really done a wonderful job on this game. Subnautica is you've crash landed on an ocean world. Your ship has just fallen out of space, and you are going to have to fend for yourself, big time. And that is literally the premise of the game. The story hasn't been introduced, but they've dropped little hints around now as they're building the game. It's in early access at the moment, so there's a lot that's being developed. And but it has become my go-to game. I've got a couple of videos up there already. Yeah, it's such a calm game. You can just float around, picking up resources, just grind away. You can do that all relatively easily. There's a real urge to build and do more. At the moment, you can do console mode, so you can actually just build stuff up, see how your map turns out. But if you want to try and really play through it on something like the survival mode, where health, having to eat, and all the rest of it, you're going to plow hours into this game. And there are going to be parts that are going to really challenge you, and you're going to be glad for every upgrade you can get.
So effectively underwater Minecraft.
Not really with the mining as such, but yes, in the sense that you are going to have to manage resources, you are going to have to build your own boat, a little Terraria a bit, but it's entirely first person, and it's set up for VR, which I and the game is gorgeous. It really is. The
I have been
animation
eyeing
is
it up.
fantastic.
I've been eyeing it up on Steam for about a year and a half, but I haven't really dived in for it. But I've been
Pun
looking at
intended.
Yeah.
it. I've been checking it out, keeping a little eye on it.
Well, it's just gone up on Xbox as well.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh.
Sure. Saw
Yeah.
it
Is
on
there an
Xbox.
early access for it on Xbox One?
I believe so.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
good news.
They have early access.
I'll have a
on-
look at that then.
Well, there is a version of Subnautica available on the Xbox One.
Yeah, no, they
Brilliant.
do have early access. What was the other one I noticed for early access? Ark.
Ark Survival
Was
Evolved's been
on-
up for a while.
Yeah, on early access for Xbox. And there was another survival game, The Long Dark, I think.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
that's meant to be quite.
early access.
I don't know if you can get early access games on PlayStation 4. To be honest, I don't think it's a thing.
Ah,
I really don't think it is a thing.
that's interesting. I'm surprised they're missing a trick there.
Really are.
Elite Dangerous, that was early access. On
Is that
the
on
Xbox
Xbox
One.
as well?
Yeah.
I don't think that's on PlayStation 4 actually. I'll double check.
Sudden silence.
Well,
Dun dun dun.
Yeah,
What are
I
they
don't think.
doing?
Yeah,
So-
I don't think PlayStation probably supports early access games overall. I don't think they do. Although they've
Sucks to
got a
be
lot of
them.
exclusives with indie developers, so that's probably where they're getting the other. That's probably where they're
Uptake.
getting the benefit. Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting the inroads there.
So the other review we've got is again from Ferg on Infested Planet.
Oh, Infested Planet, lovely tactical one. It's kind of like tower defense games, where in this case your towers can move instead of actually being towers. They're basically little soldiers, and you're dealing with hives, walloping hives that litter the ground, and they will stream towards your base. It's up to your Marines to keep them in check. Now you have access. Upon taking hives out, you have access to currency, and you can build up new. You can get new troops, upgrade the ones you've got to things like shotguns, sniping rifles, all that good stuff. Build other buildings, have choppers, which are insanely useful, and all the way up to the big puppy siege cannon. You put that down. There's so much hurt going out if you get it right.
In fact, you've got a review on the Wonky Span, haven't you? I think.
I think I tried to put it up there. I don't know how that actually turned out.
Oh,
Do you
it's
know
up
what it
there.
is?
I've seen it.
It's up there.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I'll have to have a chat with how you did that, because I've done some Let's Plays recently, and I haven't got them on front page, so I should attempt to do that.
Oh, I'll probably answer that one. I think I did it entirely by accident.
Nice.
Brilliant.
I have no idea how I did that. Yes. Check with Simon. I think at one point I managed to open like 15 nodes entirely by accident, just by trying to create a document. I have no idea how I did it.
But I mean, it's up there. It's up there. There's Hitman Beta as well. I'm not sure. Yeah, that was you as well. That's
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
Cool.
I drowned him in the toilet.
You what?
I drowned the target in the toilet.
In Hitman.
Yeah.
on
right,
the
I see.
Hitman beta. That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
It's definitely
Yeah.
a good selling point for people to watch it. Like drowning the target in the toilet. That sounds pretty.
Yeah, I
interesting.
poisoned him. Yeah, I poisoned him, and then basically, as he goes to the toilet to be sick, and while he's in the toilet, I just knock his knees out and then shove his face down the toilet, and that's that. And there's an achievement for it.
Nice.
So yeah,
That's brilliant.
it's lovely jubbly. But it's such a gorgeous game. Really is. Lovely game.
And then we've got the lineup for Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus. So, I mean,
for Xbox,
mainly Xbox Live.
yes. They seem to have got their list out nice and early. This month coming for June 2016, we're looking at Costume Quest 2 on the Xbox One, Goat Simulator on the Xbox One. Costume Quest, is running from the 16th to the 15th of June, May 16th to the 15th of June. I'll
Yeah,
get it right in a
that's
second.
already out from May, but they of course run them for halfway through the month to halfway through the next month, so that kind of rolls over.
Next up is Goat Simulator, so that's June the 1st to June the 30th.
Yay!
Which, from what I've been told, is an incredibly silly game.
Oh yes.
And then the next game on Xbox One is The Crew, which is going to be June 16th to July 15th. So that'll be a multiplayer racer for everyone to play. 360 titles this month are Super Meat Boy, which is June the 1st to June the 15th, and XCOM Enemy Unknown from June 16th to June 30th.
good game.
I loved XCOM Enemy Unknown. Pumped so many hours into that game, and the add-on Enemy Within. Absolutely loved it.
They are
But
great games.
I've been a massive XCOM fan since.
You play the original?
Yeah, absolutely
it's
loved
so
it. So
good.
many hours on that.
I was really
Just
young when I
so
played
brilliant.
that. I must have been about, I don't know, 8 or something when I played it, and God, it seemed like such a big, amazing game, like so massive, because you could like land
Oh, it
anywhere
was
on the earth,
brilliant.
and
There's so much to
XCOM
do.
got me through the 90s. And I fucking
Yeah,
hate
definitely.
the 90s.
So,
if it weren't for that game, seriously, guys, I would be in a different state of mind, I swear. I
right,
love that game for the beard.
the room with PlayStation Plus games this month, because
Yeah.
there hasn't been an actual post about it yet, is NBA 2K. I would probably assume 15.
yeah,
It's one of the NBA games. Basketball. There you go. And Gone Home.
yeah. I mean, these are quite interesting. I mean, I don't know much about basketball. I'd quite like to give this game a go, though. It looks really realistic the way it looks. But apart from that, I don't have much to comment on that. But Gone Home looks really quite interesting. It's quite a short. I think it's quite a short game, and you're kind of a character who returns home, and none of your family are there, and you're kind of walking around the house, looking at objects, and kind of finding stuff out about what's happened and about your sister, and it's something I will probably do a let's play of if it is indeed coming out in June.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'll look forward to watching that.
Yeah, I like games that lend themselves to kind of a bit quite story based, and I think it could be a good one to do if it is indeed happening.
And that actually segues quite nicely into the next section, which would be the events section, and us actually booking a bunch of stuff. So
Shamelessly.
upcoming Let's Plays on the site, on the Wonky Spanner.
So I mean, we've got a mix of stuff. I mean, I've been doing Life is Strange, which should be coming out every week. I mean, I've actually recorded all of it now. I probably shouldn't say that, but it's all been recorded, so it should be coming out one a week. I found it a really interesting game. It starts off incredibly pretentious, and the main character is obsessed with taking selfies, so you can see how it would be quite off-putting for anyone above the age of 17. 12. But
Yeah.
11.
Having said that, it's very hipster and all that kind of rubbish at the beginning. But as it moves on, it actually gets a lot more serious and a bit more, I wouldn't say complex, but a lot of things happen in the story. It deals with some quite serious issues such as bullying, rape, and sort of psychotic and dead bodies. It's And
So not
like,
not a game to
supernatural
go
stuff.
to your happy place to with, right?
No, honestly, I mean, when people watch it, they'll see the actual change in tone of not just the game, but the way I'm reacting to it. Because the first one, I'm kind of joking about a bit, and then slowly you get progressively more kind of, oh shit, what is going to happen? Like, it becomes a lot more intense, even as a player, just the way it all kind of.
Just the darkness sets in.
Oh,
the horror,
yeah.
The horror.
And there is a horrible choice in that game that I probably chose wrongly and quite selfishly, but I'll leave that to.
Which episode's that choice in, sir? Just so we can be aware of it.
It's in the last one actually.
Oh, well, that
but,
works
I mean,
out well. So yeah, you're gonna have to watch them all.
You're gonna have to watch them all. But I'd definitely
Because
recommend.
you need to have the context behind it. So.
Yeah, and I'd I mean, to be honest, this is not going to help myself and people actually watching it. But if you do watch the first episode and think it's interesting, maybe go away and play it yourself, because it is. If you can't be bothered to buy it, please watch it. I'd love you to watch it and get your comments. But it's very story based. If you watch me play through the whole game, you will ruin it for yourself. Basically, in terms of you playing it yourself, because it is basically a story simulator. Yeah, and then I won't speak too much about the next one, but I've got Firewatch in the works, which is kind of known as a walking simulator with a bit of story. Interesting. I won't talk about how I felt about it, because I'm kind of in two minds of that game, but you'll find out when all that's done. But that's only going to be 3 episodes, because it's quite a short game. And I think other people are up to stuff. I know Ferg's got his own YouTube, which we'll include in the links that underneath in the comments bit as well. But his YouTube is youtube.com/greywalker0, all one word.
Oh yes.
You want to describe a bit about your channel, Ferg?
Succinctly, computer game reviews, trolling scam phone callers and salespeople. That's fun. And there's some folk music on there. Don't ask. I help them out with stuff. But otherwise, yeah, it's game reviews. When I get the with stuff, I'm kind of hoping to do some. I really want to have a bash at the Technomancer. Really, that's kind of where I'm going with the next video. I've got some footage for Gangbusters already done. Yeah, check it out.
Wait.
The other big thing
Excellent.
in sort of gaming related news is the Warcraft movie. Warcraft The Beginning, which makes it seem there's going to be a series of them. But it's heavily influenced by Blizzard, as in people couldn't do things without running it past them, kind of. So the lore of it will be as canon as it can possibly be.
Yeah.
So that'll be something.
They're nailing that down.
It does look like an epic film, to be fair. It looks.
Got mixed reviews. I mean, it hasn't actually come out yet, but it's got mixed reviews.
It's got a lot of good actors in it.
I think it will go down well with the Warcraft community. I think people like it.
That's all they'll ever need is the Warcraft community.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily gonna be loved by everyone. I think it's gonna be quite niche, not super niche, but it will be kind of.
Do we know when
niche?
I mean, is this going to be kind of like the start of the original Warcraft game, like the beginning of the franchise? Or are we talking about Welcome to the World of Warcraft, the movie?
It's the story follows Juratan, who is Thrall's father. So it's set at least 30 years before the World of Warcraft.
Right. Okay.
So it's kind of the beginning. But
as it hints in the title.
If you look at the player base, they've got millions of players. If every one of those players pays for one cinema ticket, they are rolling in money.
I think it will do well. I mean, I do think it will do well. I think it will be. I think critics will be. You'll have critics that have a sort of cultural awareness of Warcraft, you may well have played it, and then you will have critics who are just going into watching a film based on a computer game that they've never played, and will probably say,
I don't understand.
I don't understand, it's a bit
don't
of crap.
get it.
Like,
I'm kind of expecting a few people to go in hoping to see Travis Fimmel's shirt come off. Just saying. I know why they picked him. Him in Vikings is, quite inspiring. So I'm really kind of looking forward to see what he's going to do. But you know what? I'm expecting the shirt to come off because the lady's going to be in the audience somewhere, right?
I mean,
Definitely. I mean, Vikings is awesome, so I'm really intrigued to see what he'll do with a lead role in the movie. And of course, it's Warcraft, and I've played a lot of Warcraft, so I'm excited by that.
Directed by
it will
Doug
definitely
Jones.
have to be watched.
And we've got directed by Douglas Jones, haven't we?
Yep, David Bowie.
Yeah, and after his work on Moon and whatnot, I'm really pumped about it. I really think they've given it to the right guy for this one, because he can play quite delicately with all sorts of shots. I'm going to be really interested to see how he covers, action, because that's what people want to see. So yeah. But I think he's got a good eye for the image that he's trying to convey to the audience. So I think we're going to get quite a nice and interesting graphic tale, more to the point. So
And the art style has stayed true to Blizzard, so it looks.
I think that's where it's drawn contention. You know, I mean, I think, I just seen a Guardian article, and they gave it 2 stars, but they seem to think that the plot is good. But they have an issue with the CGI and the way that it looks. So I think that's probably going to be the big issue for critics, is that some people, like those of us who played the game, will watch it and probably go, oh cool, that really looks like the game, and it has these kind of real links to what we've played. It doesn't change the way they look that much, it's kind of just more fleshed out. But I think, potentially for people that don't know Warcraft, they might just... I mean, they seem to be saying it has a good story. So, I mean, for me, that's generally the main part of the movie.
That's,
but,
surely the best bit.
Never mind.
I mean, one thing I do really want to see in the movie is the heroes go to a cellar and clear it out of rats, basically.
Yes. Level up.
Or take out a bunch of boars in the forest for, like, I don't know, half an hour.
Right, I think we should probably end there. This has probably been a longer than usual podcast, actually, which isn't a bad thing. But, I hope you enjoyed it. It was really good having you on as well, Ferg, by the way.
Thank you. Actually, it's been a blast.
Thank you for joining us.
And you can find Ferg at youtube.com/Greywalker0. You can find Dead on Dead Reckoning _EU. And you can find me, that's on Twitch, by the way. And you can find me at KinjiLol, and that's on Twitch as well. But we'll put all those links in the little bit underneath the bit. Never mind.
And you can find me at Iramarak on Twitch.
Sweet.
As well.
And we'll put that in the description, so you'll have all our YouTube things. Like, if you want to catch, like, I know Dead's doing a lot of Let's Plays of stuff like Overwatch, and you could probably... I mean, if you want to watch any of my Let's Plays kind of a little bit earlier on, they might happen to be on Twitch as well. But I think that's everything. Anyone. Yeah, don't tell anyone. Just click on the YouTube links instead of my Twitch, maybe. I don't know. But or at least if you watch it on Twitch, just click on the YouTube as well. But I guess that's it. So, yeah. Catch you guys on the flip side.
Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah.